We need a name for our audience, actually, to introduce.
Really? Do you think that can
That's
it
how
be
you
really
make it.
rude or
Yeah, what you
like
thinking?
super stupid?
Both.
Well, I was originally thinking because we're like knights of the little arcade, we could have like the knights of the internet, but that's fucking stupid.
Oh, that's
They could
a
be
little
our
bit cringe.
our squires.
That's good. See, you started off abysmally there, and then no, that's pretty good. Our squires, our little fucking squatters.
Yeah, I wanted to start reading the George R. R. Martin book about the Aegon Targaryen before he was like king, and that apparently it's quite cool. Called Dunk and Egg, because that was
Is that what it's
like,
called? A Tale of Dunk and Egg?
Yeah,
I thought that was like a joke.
No.
Or like some
I
fan fiction.
I saw that and I was like, that can't be real. But then I read about it and it actually sounds pretty cool.
Wait, and they're making a series of this, aren't they?
Possibly, they want to eventually once they do the House of Dragons thing.
But it won't be called that, will it? It won't be called A Tale of Dunk and Egg.
I hope.
Don't connect the
I hope-
characters.
yeah, that's like the.
Oh, okay.
They get given like nicknames.
Right. So, because I was like, it's either the name. That's such a Tolkien thing. Like, it's either the name of people or it's name of food in the universe. Like egg. Okay, yeah.
Sure.
But dunk. I mean, I'd help myself to a bit of dunk.
All right. Did you have any good ideas for naming our fan base?
No, I think Squires is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Filthy Squires.
Filthy, dirty little
Peasants.
squires. All right,
Dirty
peasants.
little knob goblins.
I think I've said about this before, but I hate YouTubers who open up their videos saying greetings
what's up,
and
Logan?
greetings
Oh.
and salutations.
Salutations is. I remember I had a friend obsessed with that word in school. He would
It's
sing a
stu-
song that had it in it. Celebrations and salutations or something. And I was like, why are you obsessed with this word? It doesn't make you powerful.
What, salutations by Kool and the Gang?
I hope not. But
Oh, I saw that Super Mega put up a tweet saying that all their Matt and Ryan imposters, bootleggers. So we're finally starting to make a dent in the
Thank
Matt and
fuck for
Ryan
that.
YouTube
Universe.
space. Yeah,
We're breaking the boundaries slowly.
exactly.
It's like we're trying to like invade Wakanda.
Exactly.
Just us two.
They've
With our
been
squires.
independent for too long.
Yeah, they need to suffer. They need to go the way that all old game-centric YouTubers need to. The way of the Game Grumps. They need to just kind of fade into obscurity. Although I actually really like them, so.
They come out with all their sexual scandals and stuff that they sweep under the rug and don't acknowledge.
Yeah. I mean, it's matching up, really. I mean, they have funny EPs and albums that they release
Yeah, but those are actually
at
quite
Christmas
good, though.
times, and yeah, they're actually, yeah. Right, well, do you know what I'm doing today?
I actually don't. You haven't told me.
Well, we're celebrating, baby. Oh yeah.
What are we
I already filled the
celebrating?
glass up beforehand, and I don't know why, because I should have just had it empty, then filled it up.
Yeah, that was.
We're celebrating the gamers winning, the gamers beating those hedge fund managers.
Oh
Gamers
my God,
rise
yes.
up.
Gamers.
Mm.
Alright, I don't have alcohol ready on hand, but
And there's literally a thing of
I haven't-
Captain Morgan Spice on.
I haven't opened
right
it.
there.
I haven't opened it yet, though. That's the thing.
That's fine.
And I don't
mean,
have a glass to put it in. I have this, but that's filled.
wait, what's it got in it? Well, it's filthy. It's filled with what?
It's filled with
Oh, I thought you said filthy.
with cinnamon tea.
Okay. We'll ignore that for now. We'll come back to it. But
So-
yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention that,
I suppose we have
like
to.
a flash in the pan, GameStop stock. Obviously, I mean, GameStop has been declining into the ruins and the rubble for like 5 years now
Yeah.
by making terrible, terrible decision after decision. Namely, when I wanted to trade in the game Lair for PS3 because I got it when I got a PS3 and it fucking sucked, and I wanted to trade it in for Resistance. They gave me like 20p for it.
Yeah, that happens.
So I feel like that's why they've gone down. But no, so basically everyone knows the story by now.
Yeah,
The Wall Street Reddit, where it's a bunch of people on there that probably have more money than sense.
r/, Wall Street nerds.
Yeah, pretty much. They found out that a bunch of hedge fund managers were gonna like short the stock of GameStop, meaning that everything would drop out. They would be able to cash in very quickly and make a lot of money into it. And then obviously loads of people on this subreddit invested and boosted the rates crazily.
Making all of these hedge fund people lose money.
Yeah, because they bet that obviously it was going to short out and fail and borrowing what they couldn't. And then what made me laugh is that you have all these like old-timey Wall Street like sharks on like CNN literally crying about how the poor are trying to eat the rich. And it's like, you're actually crying that you're not making your billions upon billions. You already have billions.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating about it. You are already rich. It's like, okay, let other people have a chance.
Well, the funny thing is oh no, go on.
I was gonna say they've been treating Wall Street as basically as a game where they get to make money for the past 60 years, and now that once it's at their expense, they're off crying about it. Yeah.
Saying that it's injustice and it's like going to break the economy. The funny thing that makes what this is really reinforced is the fact that when you talk about the net worth of people or the worth of a company or like their share prices, stock prices, whatever, it's just hypothetical. It doesn't exist. That just proves to you that it just means absolutely nothing. Apple are worth how many billions? Doesn't matter. Like, they literally don't. That's the issue.
It's like when people say, like, Jeff Bezos, like, he's keeping all his money, he's not giving it to people, because he's worth, like, whatever, billions.
200,000 a second?
Yeah, but, like, he doesn't physically have all of that money, does he?
It's in investments, it's in property, it's equity, isn't it? It's things that you buy, in a sense. Yeah. I mean, how many times do you hear of famous actors who get paid 60 million per film going bankrupt? Every time.
Yeah.
And it's like all their money just goes on things that they are allowed to buy from the studios that pay them. Like Nicolas Cage buying like a fucking mummy or a pyramid, bailing his son out of jail again.
He doesn't he own like a great white shark or something?
I feel like I learn a new fact about Nicolas Cage every day.
Yeah.
That's one I haven't heard.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, he's alright, I suppose. Don't you think that he's so kooky, though, that he almost kind of... He transcends so far, he becomes normal?
Well, yeah, that's the thing that I like about him, because he's not like some squeaky clean celebrity. He's just like... Because if you were, like, fucking minted... You would buy a bunch of stupid shit like that, wouldn't you? You'd buy a castle. You'd buy a fucking T-Rex skeleton.
Well, of course. Because what else are your kids going to have when you die? You can't leave money. I mean, money's worthless.
Yeah, that's going to
You want to leave them things like giant slides and, T-Rex bones.
Yeah, that's stuff that has real value.
Yeah, its historical relevance is unbeaten. I wish there was. If someone made like a table of like his recent purchases. I hope there's someone employed to just.
I'm thinking of like how people kept track of Chris Chan's purchases and stuff on eBay. And he buys like hundreds of pounds worth of like Transformers and shit when he says he's broke. And Nicolas Cage is doing the same shit. He's buying like My Little Pony figurines and like
cum jars.
Cum jars.
All I typed in was, okay, so Nicolas Cage blew 150 million. Okay, that's on the dinosaur skull, of course. And then also he bought that burial tomb for himself when he dies.
Okay,
He's
that
bought an octopus,
octopus.
shrunken pygmy heads.
But like,
I love it. Sorry,
Go
the
on.
end of this just says, and the $70 million, the 70 million year old dinosaur skull, which he later had to return to the Mongols.
the Mongols.
And I know it means the Mongolian government, but I just can't help but picture like old school ancient Mongolians.
like an old tribe he stole it from.
He turns up wearing his fucking like looking like Elvis Presley. He's like, I'm here to return the dinosaur bone to your great nation. And they were just throwing spears at him and shit. It's probably racist and insensitive, but
I feel like there's some very famous like politician or like old president or something that Nicolas Cage could play in a biopic. I just don't know who.
the thing is, whatever one he would match with, whether it's voice or looks or personality, he would play the complete opposite. So whatever you think Nicolas Cage lines up with more, he would play Barack Obama.
Yeah, he'd play
There is
it.
no way around it.
He like has to play fucking JFK for a role, and he just goes full on like Donald Trump. Like,
I want to see like Abraham, his version of like Lincoln, but like someone deep fake, Daniel Day Lewis. But it's
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage
Cage.
could probably play John Wilkes Booth.
he probably could actually. That's quite close. But again, that's so in his wheelhouse. He wouldn't do it.
True. We've have we talked about this before? How we we came up with the idea to have Bob Odenkirk play Donald Trump in a biopic. Like, get him a fat suit.
Yeah,
Like, he could fucking nail that role.
he
be
would
amazing.
be excellent actually. I recently rewatched the first season of Fargo,
Oh yeah.
and obviously he's in it as the sheriff that takes over.
Yeah.
And
Oh, he's great in that.
he is great. I mean, you just the funny thing is though, because of how they set up Better Call Saul and like the little monologue bits at the start of most of the seasons, where it's
Yeah.
like his new life or whatever, and
It's
it's like
Eugene.
yeah, it is literally it's like I just wish that it's the same character. That's what I watch it thinking.
Yeah, they could have some very subtle rewrites that like link the Fargo and Breaking Bad universes. Like they're two like cinematic universes that would fit perfectly together.
That would actually be really fucking good if they did that.
Yeah.
Where did spoiler for Breaking Bad? It ended a billion years ago. Where
Where
did
did-
Jesse end up?
He ends up in Alaska.
Okay.
They all it's weird. All the three who we actually see where they end up after, they all end up in like snowy places. Like
Do you reckon?
Alaska.
I mean, that must be thematic, I suppose. That's some
Yeah. Definitely.
that's some Vince Gilligan shit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Fargo season 4, like, it just came and went?
Yeah, apparently it's out, but like in the UK I don't think you can watch it anywhere.
No. Apparently, it was pretty good
Yeah.
as well. Although people found it a little bit because it's set like what, the 40s. Set
Is
during the
it?
40s. It's like Prohibition era, and it's about like a black gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently, it seems a bit disjointed from the rest, but apparently, it's still a really good series. But
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's a show that like even at its worst, it's still fucking great.
oh yeah, like it's funny as well because I remember like the first season when I first watched it. I don't think I really took the story in as much, like the narrative threads and all the little like heady themes that are going on in it. But like rewatching it, it's like wow, like it's so well done, and I still think that what's his name, Billy Bob Thornton, his
Yeah.
character, Marvo, he's so good.
He's fantastic.
Like his obsession with like the animal kingdom, and like the way
Yeah.
that like predatory nature like beats out and evolves, and then like I don't know, it's just such a good.
I just love like how his character enjoys like stepping into people's lives, like for no reason. He just like intervenes with random shit,
Yeah.
and like sets off these insane like chain of events.
Like I completely forgot like that a certain part in the series it skips forward a year, and I completely forgot it.
Yeah.
And then the bit when Martin Freeman's character meets him again at an awards ceremony hotel in Las Vegas, and he's playing like a dentist, and he's been doing it for a year just to get close to this guy's like brother who is being like he's under witness protection. And then what? Martin Freeman fucks it up, and he just assassinates everyone in the lift that he's now friends with, and he's his wife. It's so good, but
Oh, that's a great example of writing like a psychopath or a sociopath. Or, I don't know the difference.
well, yeah, because it makes you question as well. By that point, both Martin Freeman and Billy Bob Thornton's characters are equally maniacal.
Yeah.
Like the lengths that what is Martin Freeman's character called?
Is it Larry?
Shit, I can't.
'Cause
It's a weird. It's like a funny name.
I get all the Fargo characters' names confused because they all sound so
Yeah.
weird, like Jerry Lundegaard or fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, because the only difference really between them is that you actually get to see Martin Freeman's character, Lester. It's Lester, isn't it?
Lester Nygaard.
You get to see his progression to that level,
Yeah.
like with like the shit he does, and like how he changes.
And like all the little things that are like very Breaking Bad as well, where it's like the guilt side of things. Like I love how in most films or TV shows that try and represent guilt or like the burden of guilt, it always ends up defeating them. But Martin Freeman's character, like, so Lester has that like the bullet wound on his hand, and it gets increasingly infected the longer he holds everything in. But then instead of like telling the truth and then it goes away or whatever, he goes so far down, further down the path where he fucking gets his brother done for like killing his wife and whatever, and
his
cheating.
wife.
His nephew putting a gun in his bag and getting him sent to like juvie or whatever in like psychiatric hospitals, and then he's fine. Lester is absolutely fine, and it has like, yeah, he doesn't suffer.
For me, the absolute worst bit of it is it's a bit of a spoiler again, but later on in the season when he has his new girlfriend, like after, and he sends her into the insurance store to get something, and he knows that there's someone in there waiting to,
Yep.
you know, put a gun to his head, and he puts his coat over her and says like to keep the hood up because it's cold.
And I fucking love that bit because I forgot about that as well. I remember him putting the coat on her, but then when she's leaving with the hood off, it's like, oh honey, yes, my love,
Yeah.
it's cold out. Why do you want to put the hood up? Oh, it's so good. God damn, what an evil bastard.
That's such a great show. And all the seasons, even though they're completely different, they're all like I think on that same level. I think the third season might even be my favorite.
You know what? Because I don't know if it's because I didn't like it as much, or maybe I don't think I took the second season in much.
Yeah.
Like when I try and remember it, I can only remember two like pivotal moments. I need to rewatch that one, but I want to watch 3 before 2 because, I mean, 3 isn't linked at all,
No.
but 2 is. So
Yeah, 3 is totally its own thing. But
what
yeah.
a fucking show.
Fucking amazing show.
Right. There's a few things. We just we've got something we want to get into later, which is kind of cool. We decided to essentially come up with an idea for if you could merge a game or an existing game style
Yeah.
with either a film franchise or another franchise. Like, what kind of thing would you know? We'll come up with that. A few things I just wanted to bring up. We haven't mentioned about Resident Evil's Big Woman. Big lady. So I hate when things become a meme to the point that like it actually hurts the interest for the game. Did you see that Resident Evil's actual Twitter account posted an official message about Lady Demetrius?
Demetrius. Yeah, I don't know what she's
Something.
how you say her name, but yeah.
Just to clarify her actual height, which is in fact
It's 9 feet something, isn't it?
6.
That's
9 feet 6. And that's great. That's great. I'm glad that anyone out there who wants to be stepped on finally has that info. They can order their life-size waifu dolls.
Get this bitch on the court, you know. Get her playing
Yeah.
for like
Yeah, what's she doing with her life? She just hold up
She
in
could
a
be-
creepy castle.
She could be playing ball.
But still dressed the same, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
I saw some tweets though today that were like, I feel so sorry for the developers who are now working backwards on the game because they've realized that everyone's got a fandom for the main villain of the game, which dies in the first 3 hours. Like, imagine if they designed it that she dies very early
Straight
on,
away.
and then you fight the daughters or whatever happens, and now they're like, shit.
Thing is, I think that would be such a interesting like just in terms of story. That sounds really cool to me, but
Yeah.
I don't understand this whole like fantasizing of like these kind of characters in games. Like, I didn't see her and I was like, oh, she's a hot tall woman. She's a what would people say? She's a total mommy milk.
Busty. She's a mummy milker.
She's a big milker. I didn't think that. I was like, oh, she's a cool villain. She's really cool design.
But now you can't see.
I can't. No.
You can't have it. You can't have nice things. You can't have a villain that is intimidating and cool. Now you've got a villain that's hot, and the adverse effect of this is that I feel like this game isn't going to be scary because of that. Because whenever she's in the room, you're going to be like, "Oh, baby."
Just gonna be thinking like, is she gonna step on me? I do appreciate some of the memes about it.
The memes are good. The memes are funny, but
But yeah, it's I'm still excited for that game. I think it's gonna be really cool.
oh yeah, definitely. I don't think it's going to be it's going to be nowhere near as stress induced. I don't think as 7.
No.
This is way more like action fantasy
No.
vibes.
I still hope the story kind of has a similar themes in that, because I love the story in 7. Like, and the kind of twist that you find out about
yeah.
who's in control of everything and what's going on.
Yeah, that was really cool actually. God, I really want to play that game again, but it's like it's a slow burn, that game.
Yeah.
Like, but and I don't like the ending of that game. I think it's a bit too drawn out, but it's still
Yeah.
cool either way. It's what I found funny though about this whole 8 situation. When we first had the reveal of 8, and it was Ethan in a shack, and Chris Redfield bursts in, and he's like, they're having a chat. Do you remember this? People at the time were thirsting over how big Chris Redfield looks. Because he looks a little bit more chunky instead of ripped.
Yeah.
He looks a bit more like beefy in the face. And
Maybe he
when I
just
typed
is.
in, yeah, but it's so funny to me that like everyone was like, oh heavens, he's a big of a chunker.
Oh, dad bod. Ooh.
Dad bod, Chris Redfield's dad bod, and yet now it's like, ooh, big lady.
Big lady.
Oh,
Everyone's turning into fucking what's his name from Game of Thrones, where he likes the big lady.
oh yeah, the ginger beard.
Ginger Wild.
Tormund.
What? Tormund. That's it. He's thirsting over Brienne.
There's not really. I feel like nothing's happening at the moment. Like there's been nothing going on. Not like.
I mean, for something to talk about, I tried to find actual news to talk about besides the GameStop thing. All I found was that some government affiliation has been teaching Spinach to send emails.
Fair enough. I mean,
It was pretty
what
cool.
else should you do with spinach?
When I read about it, it's actually kind of cool. They're going to use Spinach to like detect like mines and stuff in like war zones and shit. It's actually kind of cool. But then I also found out that
No, you can't. You can't.
What do you mean?
Move on.
what do you mean?
That's you
look,
can't move on.
I read the article. I don't remember specifically how they do it, but
You
they
can't leave it like that though, because you're in my head. Okay, so do you mean that they're stimulating the spinach to grow and it touches things?
no.
Is there like electromagnetic waves coming from it? Is it certain? How are they going to detect bombs? Plant a field of spinach and wait for it to grow for 15 years?
It's something about the way that like fucking
Does it
radio waves or some
resonate
shit.
something?
Yeah, something about the way stuff interacts with spinach, like and its roots and stuff. It can actually transmit information,
It can transcend time and space.
and they
The ultimate spinach.
and they can like
Popeye was onto something, man.
apparently they can send emails and stuff using spinach. I don't know. Find
I don't
find
like
out for
this.
yourself. Maybe read the article. I'll
Yeah.
I'll put a link to it.
Wait, is it sentient?
I don't think so. I think it's
Okay.
literally just information. It's not like it doesn't detect something and it's like, oh, what we're not sure exactly what this is. It's like there is something here. Don't know what it is. Doesn't
Okay.
matter what it is. The other piece of information I found out that's kind of newsworthy, and I think you'll be interested, is we have an official like answer or a not answer but sort of the most certified theory on what happened to the victims in Dyatlov Pass.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so some fucking scientists
Oh.
in Switzerland were like working on stuff with avalanches, and they ended up looking into this incident, and they used technology that was used to make the effects for Frozen, because this whatever avalanche research facility this was part of National Geographic, which is obviously part of Disney.
Ah,
So they got in
yeah.
contact with the head animators, and then they put that technology into like simulation stuff. Because it just has to do with all this like very specific, like, circumstances that took place on the night that these 8 or 9 people were killed in very mysterious ways.
Well, like almost everything that happened to them was almost contradictory. Like the woman who had her eyes taken out,
Yeah.
but after death, but she was warm on the inside. No, she was cold on the inside, warm on the outside. There's just so many weird.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
It's so specific. Again, I'll also put the article to this because it's a really interesting thing to read about. I don't think it explains everything, but it explains like the fractures people had in like their chest cavities and like their skulls and stuff. Some of the eye things and stuff like that are still pretty weird, and I'm like not convinced. But
Yeah.
that there's stuff like that could be to do with like maybe there was wildlife in the area. There could be anything. Because some avalanche took place that night because of strong winds, even though it wasn't actually snowing. So people there can't have been an avalanche because of the very specific set of circumstances where they placed their tents and stuff, and the like decline it was on. But yeah, apparently there's no Yetis, no aliens. They weren't killed by the native people.
Oh, the tribe. I don't believe this.
You don't believe
Just simply,
it?
well, okay, so because a lot of there were like pictures of the tent that they all ran away from and stuff, and it hadn't been buried by snow. So I don't understand.
Are you sure that's true?
Maybe not.
I
I don't know.
thought
I
it
thought
was
that there was.
Because it was they found it like 2 or 3 weeks after it happened, didn't they?
They did, but like it only got colder. So I mean, I'm looking at a picture of it now. There is snow on top of it, but not an avalanche worth. Like,
but
it's just
again going back to the very specific circumstances, because it was only caused by like wind It wasn't, actually like snowing or anything, and like how thick and like heavy the snow was at the base of the mountain. It apparently caused a very minimal avalanche, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully convinced, but at least we have sort of a more official what happened.
Well, we've got another theory, I suppose. One that's much more scientifically based, but
They did use frozen technology, so
we can't really argue with that.
yeah.
There's just little things like how one of them was like had burns that were like radiation burns, and they were like scorched. And I know some people have been like, no, that was just like frostbite, that was
Hokum.
caused by. But I don't know.
I like to
I'd
believe that it was aliens, but
Yeah. Oh well.
yeah,
Right.
that since we've been presented with the facts, I am inclined to believe that, even if it's less interesting.
I mean, there are people out there that think it was like a chupacabra, but like a Russian chupacabra. So,
People who think it was Yetis. People who
ghosts of the tribespeople, the tribespeople themselves doing it to each other because of
ice madness
going crazy.
Sort of.
There are similar stories though, so I urge people to seek out. There's some great like YouTube channels that do like these really like kind of depressing documentaries about these things. There are very similar incidents to this that are just like, how did this even happen? That you should watch. But let's talk about something a bit more fun. Are pitches for video game style things?
See, I don't know how specific you get with yours. If you're like, oh, this is the developer or anything, or if it's just what the game would be like. Do you know what I mean? Because that's all I did.
I did have. Oh wait, yeah, no, I could put a developer to this, or like in my mind, because of the style that I'd want it to be, kind of thing. But go for yours first, then.
Okay. Well, as you know, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter World.
There it is.
Little visual aid.
Just in case no one's ever seen it or played it.
So, I've been thinking about like what could you mix that with? Because you could look at something like fucking 10,000 BC or any kind of monster movies, and it's still just the same thing. So it's like, how kind of far can you push that? And my thought was, how about Monster Hunter, but you're hunting ghosts? So I thought Ghostbusters.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, right?
That was pretty cool. Damn.
So my sort of idea, because in Monster Hunter you have kind of a hub world where you have your blacksmith, you can have food to upgrade your health, you can go to resources, all that kind of stuff. That you could have the fire station that they have in Ghostbusters. That would be, and you could upgrade like different kinds of equipment. So instead of using like swords and stuff, you'd be using more these ecto guns, the vacuum packs.
Ecto blades.
Yeah, I thought that'd be pretty cool, and you get to go out to these different locations and hunt different like big ghosts in like hotels and or old
That'd be
police
pretty
stations.
cool, actually.
But yeah, I just thought it would be really cool.
No, I actually like that. You could even get like, not sponsorships, but like if you could get some like licenses for things, you could have like certain like the marshmallow. You could have like actual things in it. You could have like real. I don't know. That'd be really cool.
Well,
actually.
I think the Ghostbusters franchise is owned by Sony, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just that alone, you have access to so much that you could, different properties and stuff that you could mix in with it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I I actually I do like that idea. That's kind of cool. Would you play as like a new character meeting the group, or would you play as?
Yeah.
Could you pick?
You'd be like your own Buster.
Your own
Was
Buster.
it? Yeah, like I always remember the black guy in the first one who's like he just applies for like a job. He's not like a scientist or anything. He
Yeah.
like doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah. All right. No, that's cool. I do like that.
Alright.
Well, let's see if you can see this. Maybe you won't be able to.
You wanna share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Can you see anything?
I can see it now. It's a lo-fi hip hop girl.
Okay. So, lo-fi hip hop girl, right? That's not the. That's more of like an in-between theme I'm going for. Okay.
Okay.
But you've got. Imagine this scene, right? And then I want you to remember a game called The Last Guardian. Right. Now,
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like the game, and I didn't particularly enjoy playing it for the most part, even though there were some great moments to it. But I think the
quite
idea
liked
was really. I know you did. I do like. I like the world design and everything, but just nothing worked in that game. Nothing worked. Bird Dog just didn't do what you wanted. So what I'm thinking is, right, okay, so that template of a game is really cool, like traversing the world of like a bigger creature and all this. And I thought, oh, what other big creatures have we spoken about recently that I really enjoy? And then, well, of course, we've got Godzilla. So what I thought was, we mix the idea of The Last Guardian, but then we also put Godzilla in there, and lo-fi hip hop girl.
I mean, if this was a lo-fi hip hop aesthetic for a game, that's pretty fucking cool.
That would be cool, but I'm not done.
Okay.
Because, okay, so that's fine enough. Then I was thinking about like, oh, it'd be cool if Godzilla started off like this.
Yeah. Little
So
anime weeaboo Godzilla.
chibi Godzilla. So that's how he starts out, right? And I had this whole backstory planned. It's essentially one day, this little lo-fi hip hop girl, when she was when she was younger, she had a pet lizard, but she had to get rid of it. So she dropped it into the sewer one day or down the toilet. And then 15 years later, the ground starts shaking, it starts rumbling. She looks out the window, and here he is, baby. He's fucking back, and he's looking for her. Then, what I would do is render her the same way that they've done the Spider-Verse suit in Miles Morales, right? So 12 frames a second. So she is animated like that kind of situation. Okay. Then you'd have like painted worlds similar to the lo-fi kind of design. So like almost like a Resident Evil style, like the map painting idea.
Right.
And then so you would kind of so you would like traverse the world. What I would have is it is The Last Guardian, so it's a puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
And I would love to have like the screen on the left side has her. Most of the screen on the right side, so it's not perfect split. It's like half and half. It's like 20%, and then the rest is the Godzilla. And it's like top down almost, not completely, but it's like more brought in isometric. She like stands up and she's like, oh shit. And then you have to like run and follow the Godzilla through the apartment buildings and like jump between buildings and shit and figuring out puzzles to reach the creature. You could add in a bit of like, you get to control the Godzilla creature at some point, maybe try and get it out of the city. But it evolved over time, kind of like Shin Godzilla. It's not evil. It is good. It's just, and then as the girl, he is cheapy. But then as you continue, the girl has to try and navigate Godzilla away from the armies and like try and help him escape and be free.
Now, would there be other MonsterVerse monsters? That's what I want to know. Like, do you interact
DLC.
with like... Oh, okay.
King Kong would be like 2099, 1999
that
for just an appearance
that's
as a
really
JPEG
cool.
in the background.
I was imagined like as you get further away from the cities, to get away from people trying to harm little chibi Godzilla, you find like other monsters and stuff who were like pets or something that were like put into the sewers and they had to leave.
They're also coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe there can be some choices where like that would be the third act of the game. You've breached the city walls. You're out of there. But then you notice all these massive monsters coming out of the distance. And you have to make a choice.
Do you save the city or do you help the monsters?
Or do you try and deter them? Yeah. Or maybe you could have like little Persona elements with like maybe the girl has to try and find the other kids who maybe got rid of their pets, and you team up. Kind of like Digimon, the original Digimon series, Digital Monsters.
Digimon are the champions.
They are the champions.
Damn.
So yeah, that's my.
That's cool. Yours was way better than mine. You had actual.
No, I just overthought it a bit too much.
You had visual aids, a story.
You had visual aids. You had game. Game case and DVD and Blu-ray case. But yeah, I think we've got some good decisions there.
Yeah,
I think we could next time we'll do maybe not next time, but we'll bring this back because I think it's quite a cool idea actually.
Do this.
No one steal our ideas. I'm pretty sure they're
Please
super
don't.
unique. No one's ever done anything like that in their lives.
No one, not at all.
I was thinking you asked about developer. I'd get like someone like Team Eco or Level 5 to do it.
Okay.
Because Team Eco makes sense because they did Last Guardian, but also they did Last Guardian, so maybe
they
not.
might not. Yeah. Oof.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's just not as much to talk about
No, not really.
at the moment. Things are a bit dead. It's January. Actually, and this is a terrible segue, and I'm genuinely sorry. I don't mean this in like a... I'm not trying to be funny. But Sir Captain Tom Moore died.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
yes,
was that today or yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. For us.
Very sad. I know a lot of people are really down about it, but it's also like this lad like lived through all the worst things and like you could possibly imagine. And then right at the end of his life, he gets to raise 30 million for charity. He gets to go on holiday to Barbados and then die peacefully. So.
Yeah. The only thing that is for me is a little sad about it is that he doesn't get to see the end of coronavirus. Just like
That's true.
Put in all that.
The things that he
walked around his garden 100 times. He put in. No one's. He did what no one else could do.
He really stepped up to the mark.
No.
Walking around that garden in circles.
Well, I mean, it's weird because like a few days ago, people were talking about like, oh, he's in hospital with like pneumonia and coronavirus and all that, and I'm like, he's 100.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, champ, but
it's time to go bed.
like
it's time to go nights.
Yeah.
No, that's why, like, I think to live to that kind of age and to have done so many, like, things that no one's ever going to do in their lifetime.
Yeah.
To die like that, like, after just being on holiday. Like,
yeah, sounds pretty decent.
I mean, some would say he shouldn't have gone on holiday to Barbados during a pandemic. I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to suggest such a thing.
Just a little experiment in some critical thinking. If this was the same person, but they were like 20 or 30 years old, people would be going apeshit. Just a thought. I don't care. I think, fuck it, he can do what he wants. But...
No, I think you're right there.
But I mean,
so,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? R.I.P. Captain Tom Moore.
Rip. Rip in peace.
Let it rip.
Fucking Beyblades.
I bet he let one rip just as he passed. Just a
Well,
little.
Well, that's what happens when you die. You're
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but you'd imagine being in a hospital, like you're most of the time you're shitting anyway, and your bowels are released on the daily.
Yeah.
So even if he was empty, I'd like to imagine it kind of like just a little, as he vacated the building.
Yeah, silent but deadly.
Deadly. R.I.P. Tom Moore.
Rip. King shit right there.
But yeah, I feel like that's how long have we been going? Doesn't feel that long today.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah, this
Should
is a little bite-sized episode potentially.
Yeah. Still pretty long, but yeah, compared
Yeah.
to what we normally do.
Yeah,
So-
I mean we stack it with content. We fill it to the
yeah.
brim.
Of course we do.
You know.
So
Yeah.
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and check out our other videos as well. Our tier list stuff. We'll
Make
be
sh-
doing some more at some point.
Make sure to smash that ring-a-ding-ding bell button.
Ring the ding bell button for in respect of Tom Moore.
Yeah, all you dirty little peasants. That's what he would wanted.
Yeah.
He'd have wanted you
You
to
little
subscribe to
squanchers.
us. That-
Squires.
Little squires.
Yeah. Alright, well everyone have just a lovely time.
Alright, yeah. Love you.
Yeah.